Hi, so today I have spent most of the day filling out some documents for insurance. And when you have the number of kids that I have and you're living in a foreign country, the amount of information you are filling is crazy. So, going through all that data, normally George does this, but this particular one, it's me who had to fill it. So, it reminded me in 2017, end of the year, I just had a baby that September and was invited by Jomo Kenyatta to like speak in their graduation as an alma mater. And I should have said no, but I said yes because we had one challenge. Every year when I had a baby in Rwanda, I would fly back home because I didn't want to have a baby there. And a lot of it was medical reasons, but a lot of it also was the paperwork. But I didn't know the intensity until I was tired. So 2017, when I had my sixth baby, I decided, anyway, our church had come up with this amazing clinic. The midwife, Jocelyn, was lovely, and I thought, okay, let me do this. Let me have a baby. So we got a Rwandan birth certificate, but we needed her to get a Kenyan birth certificate because normally George has this rule that once a child is born, they should get all their documents right because none of our kids has had their passport more than later than a year. By the time you're hitting your first birthday, he has your passport, whether we are traveling or not. That's just what George does. So I needed to be able to go home and get her birth certificate early and take advantage of that period. I was being invited in Nairobi. So I get to Nairobi, and so apparently what happens is that the embassy gives you a document to travel with the baby. And I was like, okay. So I went, traveled. I was staying at my brother's house, and it was perfect timing because the broadcast was closing. Just that must have been end of November, so the kids would be home to stay with the baby, so that I could go and roam and look for the birth certificate. My friends, getting a birth certificate for my child was so hard, and I was to learn that this is just a very common thing. And I had to ask, why would it be so hard for a Kenyan born child to get their own birth certificate just because they were born out of the country? And a lot of times when I told people this, they're like, no, maybe because their father is Rwandese. Everybody keeps thinking my husband is Congolese, he is Rwandese, he is Tanzania. He's given every other country apart from Kenya. But no, we are both Kenyans with Kenyan IDs. Very, 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 very Kenyan. Very Kenyan. And I was back and forth, that bishop's house, Sharia house. You would have thought I'm trying to start a nuclear company or something. It was just so hard. I was told maybe I should bribe Siju who. So anyway, a friend of mine who works with the government, Rita, connected me with somebody in Bishop's house, and we were able to start the process. And by then our flight was already, we had stayed for 2 weeks. This was the third week. The idea was to wait until the kids close and then we'd go back with them to Rwanda. Instead of them having to fly alone back to Rwanda. So we were like, okay, birth certificate being processed, George atakuja tu kusort these other things. Did I know? So we get set. I am flying back, and when I get to the airport, apparently I can't travel. I just learned that this paper I had been given by our Kenyan embassy in Rwanda, I can't use it. It's one way. I don't know what was the general plan because I didn't know even if I was going to get my birth certificate. Like, was I supposed to? So The immigration guys were like, this is a 3-month-old baby. Actually 2, I think. The immigration guy was like, you can go back, but the baby can't. Like, are you going to babysit for 5 years until I come back again? Or what's the plan? So anyway, so I couldn't travel, ticket lost, came back again. And because now we can't, we thought we were just applying to be able to go back. Now we have to get that birth certificate and then get her a passport to travel. Now, we could get the what do you call it, the temporary one. The one I think that used to cost 750 shillings. We could get that one, but we couldn't get it without the birth certificate. Now remember, I don't have a Kenyan birth notification. So, using the Rwanda I can't even remember the process, but it was very, very painful. So I had to go queue submit, and I think they equivocate it to Kenyan, I don't know what, proof what, call who in Rwanda and everything, maybe with but and then this is the problem. You see how our birth certificates in Kenya are like all professional and written. Rwanda, it was actually, I think, written with the hand. So that wasn't they had the birth certification, and then I had the certificate that was filled in and I was given. I don't know what document that was. So they were like, no, this is not a legit document. So we so we had to stay, I think, 2 more weeks. And I was working. So I had to work online until such a time that we were able to get us the passport. My friend helped me. We were able to get the passport and then go back. I was like, Niji Kute. Like, I tuned myself. I was like, hey, if you are a Kenyan, unless you are in a country that you are okay for the child to have that citizenship and forfeit their citizenship back at home, then just know you have a big journey to go. I don't know if it has made it easier. That was 8 years ago. But when I got my 7th baby, I was on the same haraka back to have my baby back home. That birth certificate is very precious. Yeah, so that's what happened. I was just doing this. I was like, hey, things visas have shown me, things birth certificates have shown me, things passports have shown me. Yeah. So if you're a family that, or people that love traveling and traveling with children, yeah, getting immigration documents and everything can be a big deal, but it's doable.